This is a video of an explanation for the answers for Review Sheet 2 for Unit 6. This is just going to go over questions 1 through 9 that you did in class today, and then I will do the rest of the questions on a separate video. So these are the answers as you can see them, but I'm also going to explain them as if we were going over them in class. Number 1 is choice 1. I'm looking for the x-coordinate of the turning point. So basically this equation that I have highlighted, y equals 5x squared plus 27x minus 3, is a parabola. It's a positive 5x squared, so it faces upwards. And I want to find that turning point where I have that dot. So the turning point is on the axis of symmetry, which is why I'm using that equation, x equals negative b over 2a. A is the number in front of the x squared, so a is 5. B is the number in front of the x, so b is 27. And c is the number by itself, and I don't need that for this, although we are going to use the quadratic formula in the next unit. So negative b is negative 27 over 2 times 5 is 10, and that's how I got negative 2.7. Number 2, I want to take that parabola and I want to write it in vertex form. I know that because I'm looking at all my answer choices here. Now when I want to write it in vertex form, I have to complete the square. I don't want to complete the square when I have that 3 that's in front of the x squared. So everything in green is the original problem, and everything I wrote in red is what I added on. So I factored out a 3 from the x squared, so I'm left with x squared minus 8x because I divided negative 24. Basically, I took this right here and I factored out a 3. So I'm left with x squared minus 8x. I leave a gap, and that 55 just gets shoved to the side for a minute. Then I take half of negative 8 is negative 4, and negative 4 squared is 16. So if I add 16 onto the right, I have to add on 16 to the left. But I really added on 3 times 16, so that's why I had to add 3 times 16 to the left. 3 times 16 is 48. I then take that trinomial that I have highlighted in yellow, x squared minus 8x plus 16, and I factor it. It factors to x minus 4 squared. And then I just want to get y by itself, so I subtract 48 and I bring it over to the right. So it's choice 4. Number 3, I have a cable hangs in a parabolic shape above a level surface. Here's my equation right here. Y equals 0.001x squared minus 0.124x plus 16. Now I know that it is a parabola, that faces upward because it's a positive x squared. And I want to find the lowest height of the cable. Any of these word problems that you come across are either going to be asking for the x-intercept, the y-intercept, or that turning point. All right, so I want the lowest height, which is where I put that point. So I use my axis of symmetry, just like I did in question 1. X equals negative b over 2a. So I have negative 0.124, so it's just 0.124, over 2 times a, which is 0.001, and that's 62. Now that's not my answer, that's the x-coordinate. I want to know the lowest height, so I have to take that 62 and I have to go back and I have to plug it into my original equation wherever there was an x. So it's just 0.001 times 62 squared minus 0.124 times 62 plus 16. Now all that goes in the calculator, so even though it looks terrible, your calculator is going to do all your work for you, and you get 12.156, which is 12.2. 4, I have a circle. I know the center of the circle, and I know a point on the circle. So here's my center at 5, negative 3, and I have a point on the circle at 7, negative 8, and I want to know the length of that radius. Notice I'm using the word length, so I have to use my distance formula. So all I'm doing is taking those 2 points, 5, negative 3, and 7, negative 8, and I'm using my distance formula on them, and I get 29. So that actually, not just 29, sorry, radical 29, because it's 4 plus 25. And then they want me to write my equation. All I do is I take the center, those numbers 5 and negative 3 go next to the x and the y, but remember you have to change your signs. So this is my equation right here, x minus 5 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals r squared. And since r, the radius happens to be radical 29, when you square it, you just get 29. 5 is another circle problem. So I have the equation of the circle. I'm going to take all my x's and I'm going to complete the square, and I'm going to take all my y's and I'm going to complete the square. This 12 I'm going to move over to the right. So I have to complete the square twice basically. I have x squared plus 4x, I leave a gap. And I have y squared minus 10y, I leave a gap. And that positive 12 I moved over to the right and it becomes negative 12. So let's complete the square for the x's. Half of 4 is 2, 2 squared is 4. If you add 4 on to the left, you have to add on 4 to the right. Y squared minus 10y, I take half of negative 10 is negative 5. Negative 5 squared is 25. If I add 25 to the left, I have to add 25 to the right. So then all I do is I take each of those trinomials and I factor them. X squared plus 4x plus 4 factors to x plus 2 squared. And then I take y squared minus 10y plus 25 and I factor that. That factors to y minus 5 squared. And when I added up negative 12 plus 4 plus 25, I got 17. So my center is negative 2, positive 5. The center are the numbers next to the x and the y, but you have to remember to do the opposite signs. Next, I have a parabola has a focus of 0, 10 and a directrix of the x-axis. Which of the following is the equation of the parabola? So the equation of the parabola, I'm just going to highlight in yellow right here. It's that y equals 1 over 4p x minus h squared plus k. Now h and k is the vertex. That's my h and my k. How do I find the vertex? The vertex is smack in the middle between the focus and the directrix. So let's come over here to my little sketch that I made. The focus is at 0, 10. The directrix is the x-axis. Those are both in red. My vertex is smack in the middle. So in the middle between the x-axis and the point 0, 10 is the point 0, 5. So that's in blue. That's my vertex. So basically, let me just get a blue pen. My parabola is looking something like this. Okay, so my vertex is 0, 5. So how do I find P? P is just the distance from the focus to the directrix, this blue line that I just did there. So it's 5 away. So it's 1 over 4p. P is 5, 1 over 4 times 5. And then my h and my k, as I said before, are my vertex. And it's x minus h squared, so it's x minus 0 squared plus 5. And all I did was clean it up. 1 over 4 times 5 is 20. And the x minus 0 squared can just be written as x squared. So that's choice 4. Turning point. My turning point of the parabola, that's my h and my k. So it's going to be positive 3, positive 5. Nice, easy question. You'll have an easy one like that on your test as well. It's already in vertex form, so I didn't need to do anything to it. And number 8, I want to write that equation in vertex form, so that means I have to complete the square. My original problem is written in green. So I have x squared plus 6x, and I leave a gap, and that negative 10 just gets moved to the side. Now I complete the square. Half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. If I'm adding on 9 to the right, then I have to add on 9 to the left. I then take the x squared plus 6x plus 9, which is a trinomial, and I factor it. It factors to x plus 3 squared. And then I want to get y by itself, so I just subtracted 9 by bringing that over to the right. And the last one that you had to do, if I have a parabola that has a focus at 2, 8, and a directrix of y equals negative 6, then what are the coordinates of the turning point? So I drew myself a little sketch. Remember, the turning point is the vertex. That's the point that's right smack in the middle between them. So basically what you're doing is you're finding the distance between the focus and the directrix. So let me just grab, get a purple. All right, I'm finding the distance between here and here. And that distance is, I can go 2, 8, and negative 6. Basically, you're looking at the y coordinates. So I got 8 and negative 6. All right, so basically the distance between those 2 points is 14. So I go 7 away from the focus to the vertex. So all I did was subtract 7, and that's how my turning point is going to be 2, 1. All right, I don't know why I wrote negative 1. That should just be 2, 1. Sorry about that. All right, so that's 2, 1. There you go. Right, and that's everything you had to do today. Now, tomorrow you're in class, you're going to work on 10 through, what do we have, 16. All right, I did write in the Google Classroom, there are 2 changes. Number 11 didn't have the question there. 11, you want to ask what's the y-intercept and what's the max height. And then number 15, it should be a negative 32, not positive 32. All right.